Hey guys, what's up? It's Missy and welcome back to my channel. Now today is a little bit different of a video because we are finally doing a really big modification to my Rebel. You see, one of the least liked things about the Rebels is their really ugly exhaust. I mean, just look at this thing. It's massive. There are a lot of exhausts out on the market for these Rebels. You have Kaufman's, you have GP Shorty, you have some Amazon brands, other eBay exhausts. So while I was telling Chris that I wanted a new exhaust, he had an idea. He said, why don't we just chop the exhaust? Now keep in mind, Chris is a fabricator. He's built engines, he's built trucks, he's built boats. He's a builder, he's a fabricator, he's always thinking of these kinds of things. Never did I ever think about chopping the exhaust on my Rebel 500. But then I also was afraid, well, what if it doesn't work? Now I'm gonna have this crappy chopped exhaust on my Rebel 500. So I drove an hour and a half away and bought a stock exhaust from somebody. That way I can cut it up, mess around with it, and still have my own stock exhaust if I don't end up liking it. So cue the montage of chopping the exhaust. So here it is, my shortened stock Rebel 500 exhaust. So as you can see, it's a lot shorter than it used to be. And this was not as easy as I had thought it was gonna be, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. The first thing I wanna do is a comparison. So I'm going to fire this bad boy up and we can listen to the stock exhaust. Then I'm gonna put the short one on, see if it sounds any different, and see if I like the sound. Now, let's put the shorty on. All right, the shorty is on. Let's go fire it up and see what it sounds like. Oh, wow. I think I might just like it because it's different and it's not stock anymore, but at least now it's a little bit louder, but it still looks completely stock. And that's really the look I was going for. I wanted something that still looked stock, but I needed more sound. I didn't like how quiet the stock exhaust was, and the best part is it still looks stock because it's using the same stock exhaust. So let's go for a ride. All right. Now, I'm not sure how well the DJI is gonna pick up the sound while I'm riding because I have a microphone in my helmet, but hopefully you can hear a little bit more exhaust than you used to. Obviously, literally every other video on my channel of this bike is with the stock exhaust, so you can make a comparison and let me know what you think as far as how the sound comes off in the videos. Now, I usually use a software to clear up my voice when I ride so that there's less like wind buffeting, and so usually it kills the sound of the exhaust a bit as well, or the sound of the bike in general. But my most recent video I did, the Cars and Coffee video, I did not use that software on it. That is just raw sound. And this video, I'm also not going to use the software. It's just going to be raw sound. So So let me know if you can tell a difference in the sound. To talk a little bit more about the process of chopping the exhaust, it was quite a feat. It was actually a lot more involved than I thought it was going to be. I honestly thought it was going to be as simple as just chopping the exhaust where I wanted it and slipping the cap back on and calling it a day, but it ended up being a couple of hours of fabrication and modification. If you're looking to do a similar mod to your bike, I would say this is definitely something that's for an experienced fabricator or somebody that's got a lot of tools available to do this modification, because if we didn't have the tools available, I would not have been able to do this. So to start out, we had to cut the exhaust where we wanted it. And we were actually really lucky where we decided to cut it, because it turns out that there's like 2 inner baffle cells in the exhaust itself. So there's like a baffle, and then it opens up into another area of the exhaust, which is where it comes out of like the tailpipe. And let me also just go on record by saying I am not a mechanic, so if I am not using correct terminology for anything, it's not my fault. Anyway, so we cut it right in front of that second, or technically first chamber, so it was still like a capped off exhaust. So once we cut that major part of the exhaust off, basically in half, we wanted to put the cap back on the exhaust. And by the cap, I mean not the like cosmetic cap, but the actual cap of the exhaust where it comes out. So to do that, we had to like remove the fiberglass packing and the cage that surrounded it, and that in itself was kind of a pain in the butt. And then trying to then chop off that cap was a pain in the butt. After a while of messing around with all that, we finally got that cap taken off from the first piece of the exhaust, and then we had to weld it onto the new piece of the exhaust, the part that was staying. So then Chris had to weld it, and he is a welder by trade, so thankfully we were able to do that. And then he welded the cosmetic end height piece, the silver piece that you see on the outside, he welded that back onto the exhaust. It comes riveted from the factory, and we do have rivets. We just wanted to be done with it at that point because it was taking a couple of hours. So we decided to just weld it together. It worked. Yeah, in total, it probably took a couple of hours of fabricating to get it right, and a lot of on-the-fly decisions that we had to make to achieve what we wanted to achieve, but I'm very happy with the end result. As far as the sound, it looks really good. It looks like a stock exhaust, just shortened. I paid $50 for the stock exhaust. Honestly, I could have done it to my own exhaust and not spent any money, but like I said, I didn't know how this was going to work. I personally haven't seen anybody online do this. So that's why I decided to just buy an exhaust. Yeah, tell me what you guys think. I think it sounds pretty cool. I think it'll definitely make people at least be a little bit more aware of me. Because obviously the bright yellow bike and bright yellow backpack doesn't always do a good job, so listen. Now you can listen to me. With all that being said, guys, I am filming this on Christmas Eve, so if you do celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. If not, I hope you have a happy and safe holiday season. I'm on my way to go meet up with a friend right now, but I hope you guys did enjoy. As always, go ahead and like this video if you enjoyed. Comment down below, let me know what you think of the new exhaust, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more motorcycle content. I'll go ahead and catch you guys in my next video. Ride safe. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.